Hi everyone, I'm back. Video 207 of 365. I'm Samantha. If you have never seen me before, I'm a therapist and I love talking about manifestation and self-concept and how to level up and improve your life. So with every video I do, I want to increase you in some way and teach you some sort of something that you can take with you by the end. So today in this video, I wanted to talk about how the quality of our thoughts equals the quality of our life. And in being a therapist, I have over the years helped a lot of people with changing their thoughts. That's the main thing we do, is like, what thoughts are you thinking? Okay, well, we need to think different thoughts. But in relation to manifestation, it's crazy to think about this because we really have programmed our minds knowingly and unknowingly sometimes. I would say mostly unknowingly, kind of programmed ourselves to see the absolute worst in so many things. And we just expect the worst. And I've heard people say, I don't want to expect the best because I may not get it and then I'll be disappointed. And I get that completely. I understand how that's logical to think that way. But again, we got to take logic out of this when it's about manifesting things, materializing things, crystallizing things into existence, whatever we want to call this. It's really about noticing what is the quality of my thoughts that I'm thinking throughout the day. Like what feeling am I dominantly feeling throughout the day that is guiding my life every single day? We think 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. 95% of them are what we thought yesterday, and about 80% of them are negative. Scientists say. So I encourage you to look and audit at your life, audit your thoughts, audit how you're feeling, audit, hey, where did this even come from? Because what you repeat will be solidified in your mind, in your brain. And so to rewire our brain, we have to recognize our patterns and figure out, okay, what thoughts serve me and what thoughts hurt me? What is a positive thought? What's a negative thought? We may not even know sometimes that we're thinking negatively because we've done it for so long, but what you repeat will create the quality of your life. And so a lot of times we just are repeating the same thoughts without even knowing it. So we've got to become conscious and aware of where we're placing our attention all the time. Because I thought of this recently, and I'm not a complete novice at manifesting things because I've done some really crazy things in my life and that just had no reason for them to actually occur. It's nuts. And so I know this stuff works, obviously, because if I could tell you all the stories, it would take forever. There's so many that just happened out of nowhere, seemingly out of nowhere. But I've been really focusing lately because I'm trying to figure out, after doing 207 videos, I have to get really creative. Just like in my sessions with clients, I have had to, over the last 12 years, get very creative in how I help people because you can't help people in the same way. Everybody's so different. But I've always wanted to create frameworks. And so with therapy, there's frameworks, of course, but I was always, individualizing things for people. Everything was very personal and created specifically for that person. But I still had the things that I would say to mostly everybody. And so when you get into mindset work, the things that I like to think of are how, we just need to simplify things. And really what it is it's how quality are our thoughts. Like how pure are they? How crystal clear are they? Instead of default programming thoughts that we've had. So when you want to manifest something, you got to get really crystal clear on what you want. And the more I think about it, the more I'm recognizing my thoughts aren't crystal clear. I don't think many people's are crystal clear. We're just kind of like continuously going about the day, surviving the day, getting through that to-do list, and just getting from task to task. I am so great at that. and so bad about doing that. It's a paradox. It's good and bad. I'm able to get things done, but throughout the day, I'm not directing my thoughts always where I really want them to go. So as I've been doing these videos and teaching about this, teaching you guys about this, talking about this, it has forced me, of course, to check in with myself. I practice everything that I talk about in these videos all the time. And I'm not a master at it yet, but I will be. That's my goal. By the time I die, I want to be a master. And so it takes skill it takes time to develop this skill. If we want to look at manifestation as a skill and not just a wish, because it's not a wish. It's actually something that you can develop into a skill set. And I think that's what I've been really thinking about lately is like, how do I develop this skill set more than what I'm doing now? And something I'm really, really great at is visioning things. I'm a visionary, through and through a visionary. I'm a dreamer. I'm also a doer, but I do let the intricacies distract me. I get into here's my vision, and then I get overwhelmed, and then I start thinking about, well, how do I do this, and which piece do I do first, and this and that. So something that I recommend if you're like that too, if you get overwhelmed by a vision that you have and like, oh my God, there's 2,500 steps, and which one do I take first? It's like that whole thing about you can't eat an elephant in one sitting. You got to take a bite at a time, that type of thing. You can't see the whole staircase. You just take the first step. And I really thought about that today. I was like, I just need to take this first step instead of thinking about the whole thing. So sometimes getting crystal clear on something that you really want just might require thinking about taking a first step. So what would that first step be? You might have 30 things you need to be doing to get to this end goal that you have. But what is a first step? Because as you take that first step, the universe sees this. The energy starts to move. You take that first step, some bold action, whatever it might be. Could be emailing somebody, starting a conversation with someone, applying for a different job, deciding you're going to start a business, opening up an LLC. Super easy to do. But you've just moved energy, and you've just taken the first step on that staircase. So the universe is going to bring you more things. It's going to see like, okay, we're moving some energy here. So that's all we really need to focus on is that first step and focusing on how crystal clear are my thoughts. And again, this is a skill set. So we're going to develop quality thoughts to give us a better quality of life. Because wherever your thoughts are daily, you're repeating them. And so your brain's like, okay, I'll take this in. This is what we're doing. Okay. Because the brain doesn't know what's true or false. Neither does the imagination. Neither does the universe. It's just, that's why we've got to imagine things the way we want them to be. And you act as if you already have those things. And you thank the universe for them or thank God for them. However you want to do this is up to you. But if you will just imagine, once you come up with maybe your first step, imagine yourself taking that first step. See what it feels like. Actually feel it. If you want to win an award or pass a test or talk on stages, give speeches and teach millions of people, get on YouTube even to start your own channel. Imagine yourself doing that thing. And then what I like to do is imagine people congratulating me because that indicates that I won, I did it, whatever the case is. And there's just tons of excitement behind it. So I love doing that. And I've done things like that before and had crazy results from it because the universe responds. When we do something, the universe responds. So we've got to start moving energy. Can things happen out of nowhere? I mean, yeah, they happen all the time. I think that there's something in us when we have a desire that there's something in us that wants to move toward that desire. So I like to just take an action because that seems to feel better than just sitting there and like being overwhelmed by the steps I must take to get to this goal. So I've really been thinking about that lately, about how like the smallest, most gentle thing we can do is just like take that first little step and then watch what happens from there. And then you'll be more clear because you actually did something. And so sometimes the doing of something will reveal that next stepping stone that wouldn't have been revealed had we not have taken that step. And they always say, people out there that teach about business or, how to grow businesses, how to sell, they say that, don't worry about that how. You just kind of decide the end goal and then you move forward from there. That's all you have to do, because you can't see like, you can imagine who you're going to sell to, what business you're going to create, but you can't see the middle. So you've got to kind of let that middle go. That's the goal. Let the middle go. Just kind of see the end and say, okay, which step do I need to take first? If you're creating a business, like I said, open up an LLC. That might be your first order of business. And then you're going to kind of see almost from a different identity, because you actually did something to move forward instead of being overwhelmed, like I said. So start there and start getting really crystal clear on what thoughts do I want to train my brain to think. Because whatever you're imagining, again, during the day, you're imagining all day long, no matter what. So we've got to get better at not imagining the past and imagining the future more. Because we already know what the past looks like. We know what it feels like. And it probably doesn't feel too good. So we want to imagine the future the way we want it. And that will start to also move energy. And we just don't know what that's going to do. It's going to start creating a new identity for us, which is also going to open us up to all the possibilities that could exist that we just can't see unless we were to start imagining from a different perspective. So you just kind of start very gently, guiding your mind where you want it to go, and watch what happens. It's very interesting. I've had some things happen today I have made this commitment. I was talking to somebody about this, and I can't remember who it was that said to do this. I think it was Bashar. If you don't know who Bashar is, look up Bashar. He's entertaining. He said to watch The Secret every single day. And so I started watching The Secret the last couple days. And it is the reason why I'm committing to doing this. I'm doing this for a year as well, watching The Secret every day for a year, just like I'm creating these videos every day for a year. I'm one of those people. I'm like, let's go hard, not for just a week or a month. Let's do it for a whole year. Because that just, for me, repeating things over and over creates great habits. It also keeps it fresh in my mind. So if any of you want to do this with me, feel free. I've already started doing it, but I was going to start on January 1st officially, but I just went ahead and started. I think I started on my birthday a couple days ago. So I love it because it immediately shifted some things in me earlier today, and some things happened from doing that. So it's just, when you open your mind up to new habits, new commitments, like me committing to doing YouTube every day, and also now watching, or at least having The Secret on in the background. I'm not sitting there watching it, but it's always in the background. Maybe in the morning when I'm getting ready, I'll just have it on. But repeated action, I believe, really opens up your mind to thinking in new ways that you wouldn't have thought had you not have committed to yourself. So once you show up for you in whatever way that is, the universe will show up for you too. And everything just kind of comes to you. It's so neat how it works. It's so fun. And you want to get addicted to this instead of being addicted to the way you've always thought. That's how I look at it. I'm like, manifestation is addictive. When we actually learn how to do it, it's a skill set. It's not just sitting there wishing for something. It's actually a skill set that we can train our brains and minds to actually create things. And yeah, it's just repetition. That's all it is, because everything that you know right now, you've repeated over and over so many times, you believe it. So it's like, why don't we practice our future instead of practicing our past? Practice our future, and then our body and mind will believe we're already there. That's what we want. Because every time we think about the past, our body and brain thinks that we're in the past, because there's only right now happening. So you get to choose what you bring into your right now. That really has helped me too, to simplify things. It's like, okay, I've only got to focus on right now. So if I've only got right now, then if my mood is down, I need to bring that back up. I got to do that. Like, that's my responsibility. I've got to decide, how do I want to feel right now? Because my now is going to create my next now and my next now. And so your string of nows creates your whole future. So you've got to decide, what am I going to do with my now right now? And it's in taking responsibility for that. You know, it's saying, hey, I've got control over where my thoughts go. I've got control over my life in general. And it empowers you to start thinking in new ways that maybe you never thought of before. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that today. I hope this helped you in some way. I intend that it did. And if it helped you, please share it with somebody else who it might benefit. And remember, you are so loved. You are so, so loved. And remember that what you appreciate, appreciate. So appreciate yourself. Start practicing appreciating yourself. Appreciate everything about yourself. Your body, your mind, the things you've done, the things you're changing about yourself, the ways you're leveling up in life. Appreciate yourself and watch what happens, because what you appreciate will appreciate. It's almost like depositing into a bank account. You're investing in you. So you've got to decide, I'm investing in myself. I'm going to start showing up for myself. So maybe watching The Secret. It's an hour and a half. I think it's $18.99 on YouTube now. It used to be free. For like a decade, it was free. But I just bought it the other day. I was like, oh, whatever. I'll just buy it. Because I'm going to have it on every day. Because it creates positivity. So you want to create those positive habits. So that might be a good place for you to start. I don't know. There's tons of different movies out there and documentaries. But that's one of my favorites. So it just makes me feel positive. It gives me a lift. And it also reminds you, you're in control always of your future and your life currently. So it just takes practice and awareness of what you're thinking and what you're feeling. Because you're going to manifest what you're feeling, not only what you're thinking, but what you're feeling. So watch what you're feeling in addition to what you're thinking. So I'll be back tomorrow, as usual. You guys take good care of yourselves, and I will see you then. Bye.